Good afternoon. This is Christopher Tipper and
Christina Cannon.
with our second installment of Tuesday's topics. Today we are talking about the DOL's recently released best practices guidelines for lost participants. Is this how to lose participants?
No.
No, this is how to. It's basically, even though it's under the heading of lost participants, this is almost best practices how not to lose participants.
How not to lose them and how to make sure that they know that they should contact you.
Okay. Now then, we view it as our primary responsibility to keep our plan sponsors and clients out of trouble with the IRS and Department of Labor. We are looking at these published guidelines, these published best practice guidelines. Even though they might seem, somewhere in there I think you've used the word onerous, or I think we're going to use that at some point throughout the taping. They seem kind of onerous, but the fact that they've given us guidelines means that we have a roadmap, and we are going to be adjusting our policies and procedures to align with these, right?
Right.
Okay.
Clarity.
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 That's a good word. Thank you. Christina has written a white paper, which will be posted on the website along with this video. Mm-hmm. And I have the lucky task of asking her some questions. We're going to do this in a question and answer format,
okay.
Right? All right. I think kind of like how we did it last time.
Yeah.
All right. Now then, the most obvious one, I think, is why would a plan sponsor care about whether a terminated vested participant responds to notices or not?
Because the plan sponsor or the plan fiduciary retains responsibility and liability for every participant, whether they are active or terminated, entitled to future benefits. As a matter of fact, with those that are terminated and entitled to future benefits, there's more risk with them because they can attain normal retirement age without you knowing.
Right.
And that is a basic requirement of the plan to pay the benefits.
Right. Okay. Now then, and I know I've been told to do this once upon a time in prior employers, can't the plan sponsor just forfeit the entire balance for a missing participant since it's obvious the missing participant doesn't care about the benefit?
That was a practice about 15 to 20 years ago where you just, they'll show up later. When they show up later, we'll give them their account balances and we'll give them some income and they'll be happy campers.
Right.
You'd be amazed how the DOL frowns upon that.
Yes.
And then there was also the, let's just take all of their money and make it withholding and pay it to the Treasury and have them figure it out when they file their taxes. Well, you've just destroyed the tax deferred nature of their distribution.
Yeah, but I must admit, when I was reading that again recently, I thought, this is actually a really good idea. But when did the Department of Labor, I don't remember the year, the Department of Labor sometime in the past 10 years or so, specifically said no.
Do not do this.
Don't do that. It was, yeah.
And the IRS said, do not do this.
Right.
Yeah. So both of them.
But, however, all of these practices that we had, this 100% forfeiture, or the 100% withholding, this was all popularized in the day before the auto rollover, and which I know is only $5,000. No, it's not indexed to any cost of living, but
right.
This was all stuff before that.
Yes.
All right. Can't the plan sponsor, plan administrator force a distribution to a terminated vested participant without their consent, though?
Only if it's under $5,000.
And let the cat out of the bag with that one, didn't I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
If it's $5,001, no, you have to have permission.
Right, but we do get the option of, I'm not exactly sure why they think this is a good idea, but if it's rollover money, we have the option in the adoption agreement of not counting that in the $5,000 limit.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
So why is complete census data for terminated vested participant? Why is complete census data for can't even.
Why is it required?
Yes.
It is required because, amazingly enough, some employers feel that getting specific data on their employees is violating some kind of a privacy act.
Ah, okay.
So they don't really get their birth dates. They might have their hire date because that's their record, and they don't want to get all of the social security number.
Oh.
Well, how do you know that this John Smith that you have found is the John Smith that was in your plan? So it's possible to have two people with the same name,
Right.
but it's illegal for two people with the same name to have the
same
same social security number.
It's just generally not. Well, people aren't supposed to be sharing social security numbers either.
Sure.
And the date of birth is relevant for when the money comes out because of excise tax and or the RMDs, which are a thing again in 2021.
Right.
Right. Okay.
And you have to know under the terms of the plan when they attained normal retirement age.
Right.
Because distributions have to start.
Oh, right. Is there anything the plan sponsor can do to maintain contact with a terminated vested participant?
There are so many things you could do. But let's start with the basic business things.
Okay.
Every DC plan provides benefit statements if
Right.
they are at a platform.
Right.
If they're a brokerage, they may only provide statements once a year.
Right.
However, it's once a year.
Right.
And that you have to provide an annual funding notice for a defined benefit plan or a summary annual report for a defined contribution
Right.
plan. And if those things are mailed out and they come back, you have a problem.
Right. And this leads into the mailroom question.
Yeah.
Why should we be giving people who open the mail special instructions?
Because the normal habit is, with the exception of marketing wants to know whatever was not deliverable.
Right.
But they tend to just put them in a pile and they leave them there. And actually they should go to human resources who then begin the search.
Right.
Where did they go? They aren't where we last had them. Where are they now?
It's because I was going in a different direction with this. What I was thinking that yours is probably righter than mine, but what I was always also thinking was that if the employer has mailed something to a terminated employee and it's come back, don't open it up. No, because then if the envelope is sealed, then we can show what we have tried to send them. Right? Or do you not think that doesn't have any weight anymore? Are you looking at me like I've made a mistake?
No, I don't think you've made a mistake. I just think that, opening up to see what you sent them and stapling the envelope to it is sufficient.
All right, okay. And this is going back to a topic you mentioned a few minutes ago. Isn't it a violation of privacy laws to contact former coworkers or beneficiaries to get information on the terminated vested participant's current location?
No.
No. We're just going to leave it at that. No, there are no privacy issues with that.
I mean, you're not giving them the participant's social security number or birth date. You're just telling them, we need to find this person. Do you know where they are?
We have a good reason to find somebody. Right.
And would you tell them to contact us?
Right.
If they don't want you to give us their address, tell them to contact us. We have money.
If the employer's search for a missing participant starts and ends with a free online search, the Department of Labor is going to be completely happy with that, correct?
Oh, yeah. If you find the guy,
Oh, yeah.
they don't care how you found him.
Just you found him.
Yes. Whether you found them through obituary listings or if you found them by using the free online search, like Whitepaper and all of that, to give you an indication.
White pages.
White pages,
Right.
that's it. And they don't care as long as you found them.
But
And as long as they then respond. But
Right.
remember, there are many reasons why a participant may not respond. You could have a participant who's elderly and is not in control of his own mail. So, if they're they've got a caretaker who just takes everything and puts it in a pile. It's
Okay.
not until the participant dies that his beneficiaries then start going through all of his
Okay.
papers.
So the free service is okay if you found somebody and they've responded affirmatively. All
Right.
right. If they haven't, the
They're
plan
still off.
sponsor needs to engage some of the paid services.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Does the plan sponsor have to use all of the best practices to find a terminated
No,
vested participant?
only the ones that work.
Only.
You only have to go through, like, it depends on your viewpoint. I would start with former coworkers.
Right.
Do you still have contact with this person? Do you know where they are? Oh yeah, they moved to Tampa.
Right.
Okay, I've got an area then.
To look. Right.
Yeah, and I would hold off on hiring a detective
Right.
to find them as long as I possibly could. But the cost to have such a detective is still less than potential liabilities if you make no efforts at all.
Okay. All right. We keep using the phrase, or I keep using the phrase, terminated vested participant.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I think we need to be clear that if somebody is terminated and never had an account balance,
Right.
all right, they're not a participant anymore the date they terminate.
Right.
If somebody terminates who had an account balance, but they are zero vested, they have no vested account balance, they're still a participant until their account is fully forfeited, and then they're no longer a participant. We're talking about participants who no longer work for the employer, but have it, well, even a penny, I don't think there's any de minimis, who have a penny or more of vested money, right?
Well, unless you have that group of people that you can just, it was 1,000, some plans are lowering it to like 200.
Well, that's the force out, right?
Yeah, the force out.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Now then, one last thing. What should a plan sponsor discuss at the exit interview for the participant if they can?
They should discuss the benefits of the plan and keeping in contact. It's not unusual for a participant who's close to normal retirement age, who's quitting, but he's got like 3 or 4 years. He might want to leave his money there. You really need to talk to him about the need for him to stay in contact. That's how it ensures that he gets his money.
Okay.
If he's younger, it would behoove the plan sponsor to give him his distribution package at that time.
Right.
Even though there may be a period of time before the plan allows the distribution to be made, he can still request it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got the forms, and then he's gone. Because once he walks out the door after that exit interview, you have no control. He is gone.
Right.
And you need to make it easy for him to either ask for his money or to keep in contact.
Okay. All right. I believe you have a closing statement for the jury.
My closing statement is, helping terminated vested participants receive their benefits from the plan is a major tenet of fiduciary requirements. This can mean providing those participants with the information they need to either take their distribution or roll their vested account balance to an IRA or another qualified plan when they are on the way out the door. And it could be the key to fulfilling that fiduciary requirement.
Right. Thank you very much, Christina. Do we know what we're talking about next month?
I believe we're talking about the state provided.
Oh, that's right. It is.
Yes.
It's the state plan. Right. So, thank you very much for watching our second installment of Tuesday's Topics, where we are talking about participants that can't be found and maybe best practices so that they don't get lost. Join us next month when we're talking about the state-sponsored retirement plans. Right. Okay.
Mhm, yeah, they're adding them.
Yeah. There's
More
going to be
states.
more and more states. All right. And as Filippo is going to definitely remind me in a minute or two here, please like, comment, share, whatever. All right. I shouldn't say
Subscribe.
whatever. Subscribe. I knew there was another one. It wasn't whatever. Subscribe. Our website, of course, is hunterbenefits.com. And if you have any specific questions about what we've discussed here or in any of our online videos, it's sales@hunterbenefits.com. Thank you very much. Take care. Have a good week.